Dr. Frank, Tim Curry's character, he seems like, I mean, he obviously doesn't care who he's having sex with. That doesn't even register with him. Well, no. He seems to be just purely for the pleasure of it, the desire and those feelings. It doesn't seem like he thinks about anything that comes after sex, emotion, possible diseases, blah, 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 blah. It's not even something that comes into his mind.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, the issue with him is that there's a bit of a, I would say he needs to control too much. Yeah. That's kind of the issue is that.
Well, it's odd because he wants to control, but he's also trying to have this free spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That ends up being sort of the heart of this movie because it ends up being sort of like Dr. Frankenfurter is selling a liberation, and it is working. Mm-hmm. It is, people are being liberated by Frankenfurter, but at the same time, Frankenfurter can't see sometimes outside of his own pleasure in a way, to the point where he sees these people as pawns in his own sort of freedom, which to them, that's not freedom.
Right, exactly.
But I think the film eventually sort of has him wrestle with that in a very weird, melancholic finale to a film that is very fun for the majority of its runtime.
Yeah.
But we'll kind of get into, I think, the nitty gritty, which is we got up to the point. Brad and Janet, I kind of love the opening bit with them at the wedding. And the Damn It Janet song is just a classic. It's one of my favorites from the film.
Yeah.
Because they are just so cornball. Yeah. And they are so like, are you for real? Like,
and I feel like that's what the background singers are reacting to. Because they're just like, Janet.
Yeah.
they're all like, Janet or whatever. They're Janet.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that those are...
The people?
The people.
You even see Tim Curry in the back without any of his makeup. And they don't say anything. He's just there. Which I don't, like, was that hinting towards they were almost stalking them? Or kind of steering them towards the mansion in some way?
It could be a little bit, but it also just feels like that maybe that's their day job. Maybe that's how they blended into the community.
That's true. I guess what I was thinking, like, because they're in
so
that mansion and they're secluded, that I felt like that's what their day job was. Like, I thought that they took care of each other, and that was their whole vibe.
It also might just be less literal, because there's a lot of things that happen in this film that are just like bizarre in ways that I think do work, but that could just be a case of like they want to make you feel uncomfortable,
like in Creature of the Night when they have multiple people like they just start showing different faces
yelling into the lens,
and you're like, well, she was only having sex with one guy, what's happening right now? So it's like, the answers aren't exactly black and white, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. I feel like this movie is just sort of like an explosion of spontaneity, which really reflects the sexual liberation culture that this is trying to come from, and which is what gained it its cult following, is that I feel like a lot of people latched onto it. A lot of people have said that this film was a film that made them comfortable in coming out or being free, or when we were sort of talking about in Cruising, that there was a bit of... that the underground scene was freeing in its own fantasy type way. I feel like in a real life cult phenomenon way, this movie was that for people. They would dress up, they would go to the movie,
for sure.
They would have a great time with other people who also felt something from this film. And similar to Troll 2's following, there was probably a bit of a camp sneering, but also a genuine love for what the film is.
Well, what's cool is that like they made. Because I mean, I'm not transphobic or anything like that.
Yeah.
But with Tim Curry, like just as a straight guy, you wouldn't think of his character and go like, oh damn, you're cool. I want to like almost like I feel like I could be totally comfortable dressing up as him for Halloween now.
Oh, dude,
and having
he rocks
that
those
persona.
Heels, man.
Yeah, like he's just got such confidence and like almost bravado, honestly.
And honestly, a huge part of that is his performance, which is just a charismatic powerhouse.
Yes,
he's got
exactly.
so much like power and verve to watching him move and sing.
Well, he's kind of got this vibe that even if you were like a homophobe or whatever, it wouldn't even. He'd be like, "Please, honey, like fuck off." You know what I mean? Like he's got this power and this strength.
He doesn't give a shit. He's who he is.
Unapologetically, and it's awesome. It's pretty like inspiring in that way, that kind of letting yourself go and being whoever you want to be. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I feel like this movie is about self-actualization, which is the idea that you you are becoming your truest self, or you're fulfilling the potential of your talent and your being and all of this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what this movie is about, and I feel like it is sunk in like a really mainstream way into people to just like, you know, and especially in this sort of like campy, really fun style that it has, these ostentatious songs, and it does become, in its own meta way, a film about just being you.
Yes.
And he has that great line in one of the final songs where he says, "Don't dream it, be it."
Be it. Yeah.
And it's so powerful in the actual film.
And they repeat it. Like it's kind of, it becomes like a mantra of that song.
Yeah.
And it just,
I've never been to see this live, but I imagine that's a part where everybody sings.
Oh yeah, and everyone just goes
lighters in the air.
Yeah, don't dream it, be it. Absolutely.